And we are live, like 95, here with my co-host and homie, Fantasy Tips Matt. And just so you know, that's not just a name. I know we all have our X handles or whatnot, but Matt's a super pro in these DFS streets, which is not so easy. It's pretty difficult to be a winning player. You can catch him twice a week on Ship It Nation on YouTube. I think they've got maybe 12, 13, 14,000 subscribers. He's one of their very best. Fantasy Tips, Matt. What's happening?
Nothing. I appreciate the nice intro. Happy to be on here talking some ball, talking some collectibles, talking some whatever with you, bro. Loving these Monday night shows. We got a bunch to talk about, so excited to get into it. DFS is frustrating in the playoffs right now. Man, Mitchell has been one of the most frustrating players of the playoffs, but I know you got some other stuff that you wanted to dive into before we talk about Cavs stuff.
No, we can shoot from the hip and talk about anything. My boy Donnie Mitchell, do you know I actually heard a stat when I was just watching the game tonight? He had 35 and 10 rebounds last game, making him just the fifth Cav ever to have a 35-point, 10-rebound game in the playoffs. And the others were Ron Harper, Brad Daugherty, Kevin Love. So there were four before him, the three I just mentioned, and Bron, who did it 37 times. Mitchell's a favorite of mine, but yeah, what's going on in that game right now?
I will say,
Cavs are up 66.
I might have spoken a little too soon. Over the past 145, so the start of the third, they're on an 8-0 run. They're on a 10-0 run total. Mitchell has Mitchell has all 8 of the points in the third quarter. So in a minute 30, he's got 8 to add to his total. So maybe the second half is where he's going to get his tonight. I know Harden had a real good first half. Cavs team is just frustrating to watch, man. They're talented, but feel like they get outplayed, out physical, out whatevered against this Detroit team. We'll see if they can get this one and then send it back to Detroit 2-2. What do you think the outcome of this game is going to be?
I think the Cavs are going to win, dude. They have such just an edge from the personnel standpoint. It was maybe midway through the third quarter the other night. I'm watching, dude, Detroit's 5 was like Dennis Jenkins, B-Ball Paul Reed, Duncan Robinson. I mean, yeah, I guess these guys are okay, but the Cavs have some real true ballers on their squad. If Donovan Mitchell gets you 40 or 50 points, you're not going to be shocked. You might be pretty shocked at this point if James Harden does, but he has a history of being able to do that. Would you really be shocked if Evan Mobley got you 30? Is Mobley a better player than he was like 2-3 years ago? I just remember like 3 years ago, people are saying, wait till he gets this 15-footer down. Wait till he gets his footwork moving like, the dream. Is he a better player? Is he the same as 3 years ago?
He seems very same-ish to me. I mean, his offensive game has expanded, but certainly not to the point where you, me, anyone wants it to be. Doesn't mean he's a bad player. He's supremely athletically gifted, really good defensively. He just, I don't know. He leaves a lot to be desired. I feel like is the best way to put it. People will say he doesn't have that dog. I don't argue with that. For me, it's mostly he just leaves a lot on the table. Like there's meat left on the bone always with him.
Chewy Wolf, my man, what's happening in the chat? Yes, the offense certainly does not run through him. He's playing pretty well tonight. 2 blocks and 2 steals. That's pretty solid. The Cavs will take his defense. So I think
those were all real early, by the way. Like, yeah, that's nice, and he has playing a good game. But all those stocks were like in the first quarter. I'm pretty sure. So, we'll see what he does from here.
What about your boy LeVert?
It's the LeVert wheel. You never know what it's going to land on. I don't know if you heard of the LeVert wheel.
No, I have not.
It's more or less LeVert. You just never know what you're going to get with him on any given day. And the wheel, in essence, is like every single player in NBA history. So
who made that up?
I've seen it on Twitter before.
That's classic.
Yeah, so some days you might get Tony Snell LeVert. Tonight you got Kobe LeVert. just a monster first half. Asar
Oh,
Thompson,
LeVert.
big foul trouble. What?
Kobe LeVert.
Yeah, I mean, you got 17, 2-2 with a block and a steal, I'm pretty sure, in the first half from LeVert.
That is Kobe-esque. 7 and 12 shooting.
Is a guy who was not playing much for many stretches during the year for this team. So, yeah, to get that from him in what was like a tie game or they were up a couple at half is big time. Yeah, man, LeVert. He's talented. Like, he was good for Cleveland for a minute.
He
like,
has been, yep.
He didn't fit this new kind of team, but yeah, he's definitely had his role in the league. He was good on that Brooklyn squad, like that Jared Allen, Atkinson, LeVert. Bunch of guys on that team. That was a Hollis Jefferson. That was a fun squad.
Good shout out. Banana Mac, thank you for the super chat. Let's go, fellas. 2-4, Kobe right there. You see her little jersey, Matt? 2-4.
Mm-hmm.
The Pudgy Boys. Love to see it. What's happening? So, yeah, LeVert's playing well. He's got 17. Detroit's up 2-1. I still think the Cavs prevail. And then they'll have to play the Knicks next round. It's just funny because 2 weeks ago, like, nobody was loving the New York Knicks, and now everyone is just, like, super bullish on them. Any thoughts on that series, Matt? The clean sweep against a healthy Philadelphia team?
No. I don't have much to say there. Is my camera frozen for you? Because for me, it is.
It is.
I'm going to hop out and then hop back in. So
all good.
That fixes it.
Hop on in, or hop on out and hop on in. So while Matt's gone, I want to talk about some cool stats for Karl Anthony Towns this postseason. He has been a different player in terms of just like the offense running through him. Earlier we saw Chewy Wolf say the offense does not run through Evan Mobley, and he's right. But for New York, the offense has kind of been running through Karl Anthony Towns, and the statistics support that claim. So last postseason in 18 games, because they made the Eastern Conference Finals. He played plenty games, so that's a decent sample size. Last postseason, Karl Anthony Towns in those 18 games had 24 assists and he had 40 turnovers. So in 18 games, he had 24 assists and 40 turnovers. This postseason, he's played 10 games so far, and he's had 66 assists and 28 turnovers. So it has been running through Towns. You have to give him credit. You don't have to give the Philadelphia 76ers any credit. That's really incriminating on that roster, on that team, that organization. To get swept, they were starting their guys. Edgecombe, PG, Paul George, Embiid, Maxey, and Oubre. They were all starting. They had all of their guys healthy. And they just took a fat dump and got swept. I mean, geez, that is, again, very, very incriminating. 4-0. Not good. What do we think about the elbow? I think he should have been kicked out is what I think, and I think we've got a series now on our hands. Really excited about that series. My friend, it was actually Matt, he asked me earlier if I really thought SGA was the best player in the world, and I said yes, like without hesitation. So since you asked about the elbow, which got us talking about the Spurs Wolves, I just want to compare Edwards and SGA real quick. When you look at their numbers this year, they're really similar. They both averaged, which is pretty neat, the exact same amount of blocks and the exact same amount of steals. So each averaged 1.4 steals. And each averaged, 0.4 blocks, I believe. So on defense, in terms of the stats, that's kind of, 0.8 blocks, and 1.4 steals. Again, I'm an SGA guy. From the eye test, I don't think it's too close. what other stats? SGA this season, 55% field goal shooting, 38% from three, 6.6 assists, 4.3 rebounds. And now you have Edwards, again, really similar in terms of the reliability. They're pretty much the same too. SGA had 68 games played this season. Edwards had 61. You can count on pretty much both of them. But if and when Matt jumps back in here, we can talk about that conversation because I think SGA is the best. But he likes to push back, and he thinks that Edwards is the better player. Maybe it's because of Edwards' sheer athleticism. But again, Gilgeous-Alexander is getting just as many blocks and just as many steals as him. And that's a good question, Mr. Kicker. I should know that answer, and I should have jotted that down in my notes, and I did. Speaking of turnovers committed, you know who had 0 turnovers last game was AJ Mitchell, the Belgian breakout star. Let's see. It looks like Matt is back. Matt, you back? I think you're muted, my friend. Is that because I muted you, or have you muted yourself? Well, no, can't hear you. While you get that straight, I was just slandering you when you were gone, saying that you think that Anthony Edwards is a better player than SGA now, and I was just kind of giving my pitch on why I didn't think that was the case, and why if I had to choose, I would take SGA. So as soon as your microphone's back, maybe you can talk about your side of that one. Are you all set or no?
Testing.
You're there, buddy. You're all good.
I don't know.
I know. I can hear you. I was just going on an AJ Mitchell rant, but if you want to chime in about what we were talking about earlier, just the Edwards versus SGA comparison, I was going through some of the stats, and they averaged the same amount of blocks, 0.8 this year, same amount of steals as well, 1.4. Very close in terms of shooting percentages from the field and from three. I don't know. I know I sound like I know it's closer than I'm making it seem, but yeah, if you ask me, it's just a very quick SGA. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so for me, I don't mean to say that like Ant is better than SGA. I just think that kind of the point I was getting to earlier, if you swap these guys, I don't think OKC has taken a step back really at all. I think Ant is as good as SGA and better in some aspects, not as good in others. Very comparable NBA players, in my opinion.
Sorry to cut you off, but what aspects, just to clarify?
Okay, so it's difficult to judge these things and say that one is better than the other or Ant is better than SGA at some things. SGA is in a system and plays with players that are better and is better than I think Ant is in. Would you agree with that also? I feel like I'm good.
Yeah, I was just reading about AJ Mitchell, but not to cut you off. Please continue. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think Ant is as good, if not better, of a pure scorer as SGA. I think Ant is as good or better of a one-on-one defender than SGA. If I need like a last-second shot or last possession, go ahead.
Sorry, Matt. Do you think he's as good of a scorer as SGA? That's a pretty bold claim.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to ask you this. I'm going to flip it to you. If you're starting a franchise today and there's a draft, who are you taking, SGA or Ant? And where do you think they go in like a consensus draft like that?
SGA goes top 3 consensus. I would take him over Ant. Before I forget, join, please, the prediction challenge. If you're tuned in, you can find the link at the bottom of your screen. You get another, I think, 1,000 free tokens if you use that link. And then, the top 3 from tonight will receive a pack, an NBA Top Shot pack as a prize. And again, say so. And so, Matt, I would take SGA in a heartbeat if you're saying, okay, you're starting a team, you're the GM, pick one or another. Now, would I take him ahead of Wemby? I don't know, dude. It's is Jokic, would he be your first guy? I don't know. We could go on a long time about that one, but if you want to give us your conclusion, who's your first guy?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, if you're talking about like any sort of substantial like future type of setting like that, it's got to be Wemby as the top dog. But
Top dog.
for me, I'm taking Ant before SGA. Like, I think it's really close. But I don't know if the consensus, and maybe I'm off here, is that SGA is just the pick over Ant. I think Ant would get a lot of votes in that type of setting, in my opinion. Jokic is hard because those guys are all younger than him. He's obviously more impactful right now than anyone but Wemby, maybe even more than Wemby. So you can make the argument for him, but I think those younger guys probably go ahead of Jokic. But yeah, it's always a fun combo to have.
Yo, how about this Belgian breakout baller? He's looking like just a steal of the 2024 draft. 38th overall, taken in the second round, AJ Mitchell. Dude, this guy had 24 points last game, 10 assists and 0 turnovers in 30 minutes.
Yeah, he's a freaking baller, man. This is just what OKC does. They just continue to find guys. They don't have to pay their guys. They can let guys go because they find guys through the cracks and on the margins. And AJ Mitchell's just another example of it. I mean, he's good. He fits their system.
Yes, dude, that wasn't an outlier game. He had 20 the game before and 18 the game before. So he just had 24, 20, and 18.
He was a monster in DFS. He was a monster in DFS all year. Like, whenever guys were out and he was the guy, he was a monster. And he was a guy like you had to play where he was priced on DraftKings. So, yeah, man, it's not really a surprise. Well, it's not a surprise that he's playing well. To how well he's playing. I mean, he's playing so well, it's a little bit of a surprise. It's hard not to say that.
Yeah, they had 7 players in double figures last game. It's hard to see them losing, dude, with their depth, with the amount of just ball handlers and guys that can make a three when you need it, and just fresh bodies that they can throw at you to just press you up all game.
They're so good defensively, and they're so deep, as we were kind of talking about earlier. It's the combination. They're so good defensively, and they're so deep.
Dude, SGA got in foul trouble in game 2. I think it was the third quarter. And OKC still beat the Lakers by 13 in the third with SGA off the court. And they're doing this without Jalen Williams. None of this is breaking news, but it's just, we've got to talk about OKC, dude. They're just amazing. It's gonna be a really cool Western Conference Finals. Last year it was tough for them.
It's not breaking news, but I think the question. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I was just saying it's gonna be tough for them, even though we've anointed them. They did have some tough series. They were taken to game 7s last year in the postseason. Please continue.
I think it's like, everyone knows OKC is good, but the question is, like, how good are they? Like, seriously, like, are they? I mean, if they win the title this year, they're going to be prohibitive favorites next year. Are they in conversation as like best squad ever? I mean, how could they not be, really? You hear how opposing players, teams talk about them, revere them. It's hard not to put them in that high praise. Of course, presuming they get it done this year. And obviously, if you're really going to put them in that class, they got to get it done this year and next year, and I'd bet against that. So we'll see what happens. But man, it's hard not to talk about them in that regard.
Not so fast, my friend. I would not bet against that. Not so fast. They're the sickest. They stay healthy, and they're going to do exactly what you were saying.
Against them winning this year and next year, you take them over the field next year.
I know it doesn't really work like that. It doesn't really ever happen. But yes, I think this team can do it. Dude, we didn't even really know who AJ Mitchell was last year. And now he's just he's playing like he's Carmelo Anthony. Real quick on the collecting side of things, his rookie debut on NBA Top Shot a year ago was $1 or $2, and now it's $8. So that's a nice 4x. It's nice to see, a market. I don't know if you want to use the word healthy, but it's cool to see players' values go up as they play better. Like, in my opinion, there should be a correlation there. Did you see? Also, speaking of collecting, dude, did you see there was a $100,000 Wemby NFT sale yesterday? A Panini Wemby. You saw it or not?
The game is live, man. I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. And
100 G's.
I'm here to talk about it. So
100 G's,
man,
dude.
There's money to be made. There's money. It's a lot of cash.
Matt is part owner of Coach K's Sports Card Shop in Mayfield, Ohio. If you ever go, tell them Fantasy Tips Matt sent you. Maybe they'll give you
I'll be
$5.
going up there tomorrow.
Are you?
Picking up some more of those I'm picking up some more of those WWF Hasbro mocks. I had to, just because
That's cool.
there isn't that many more in the collection, and there were some good ones left, like some ones that I just felt like I kind of wanted to add to my collection. And yeah, hopefully I see one of our boys up there. So yeah, man, always a fun time going up there, seeing Kev. I know he's at the Cavs game right now. Hopefully they bring home a winner for him.
Yo, if you go in there and start just like chirping about NFTs, do they get all salty? Are they like, are they like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Like, tell me more.
I feel like it's just such a different market. I mean, Kevin, Coach K, doesn't really know about them. The people in there, I think they're more looking for like cards and packs and the physical stuff. So yeah, it's just a different world.
I mean, I guess it's different. Don't you think they'll start paying more attention the more six-figure Wemby sales there are? Or is the answer, or maybe the answer is no?
I mean,
and
yeah, I mean, I think more people will start paying attention, but maybe not necessarily those people. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
I don't know.
You would just think those would be but you would think though that would be the lowest hanging fruit, people that already collect cards. Right? I mean, unless there's just some real animosity.
You would, but I think the market's different. You would think that, but I do think the market's different. Sure, you'll have some crossover, of course. Truth sports heads that can't get enough of just a collectible, whatever it is. Those people will want to get involved in both. But I think you'll have more old school people, maybe more kids into the physical stuff, more computer savvy, younger generation type people into the online NFT type stuff. I mean, I don't know. That's just my guess, but I think it makes sense when you think about it.
You buy anything this weekend? Any collectibles at all?
No, I just put together like a little set of stuff I wanted from Coach K's that I'm going to finalize tomorrow. So yeah, we'll see. If I add anything when I'm up there tomorrow, it's always fun. Yeah.
Do you have any of those figurines within reach so you can show the chat again? That didn't see it last time?
I don't. I put a bunch of them in my car, and I brought a bunch of them up to Coach K's because he's got cases for them up there. So another thing I'm going to do tomorrow. So yeah, next week when we're on here, I'll have a bunch of them in cases that I can show off.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Look at the Cavs up 10. Looking good, dude.
Yeah, nice third quarter for them. I know Donnie Mitch, monster third quarter for him.
Let's do it. Looking good. What do you think about Chewy Wolf's question right here? Who are you taking? Earlier we talked about Ant versus SGA. Who are you taking between Mobley and Duren? I would take Mobley. I don't want to lead the witness, but who would you take?
I think Mobley's the answer, but I wouldn't fight you or anyone if they said Duren. I think Duren's more of a proven commodity, and you know what you're going to get with him. I think Mobley has more upside.
You know what you're going to get. Well, it's game 4, and they really need him right now. There's 3 minutes left. There's 2 minutes left in the third quarter. They're down 11, and he's given them Jalen Duren, that is 6 points and 2 rebounds and 0 blocks and 3 turnovers and 0 assists and 0 free throws and 0 threes.
Listen, he's not had a good playoffs. Maybe I regret those exact words, but he's solid. He was an all-star this year. He's not having a good playoffs, no doubt about it. First playoffs, been exposed a little bit. Let's not pretend like Mobley's had monster games every game either, though. So, like, I'll take Mobley over him. I said that. But, like, I think Duren's good. He's not having a good playoffs, not having a good night tonight. But usually you know what you're going to get out of him. He's a guy that fills his role. And I like Duren in general. Sounds like I'm higher on him than you are.
Well, earlier we talked about A.J. Mitchell, and you said he had been really good in DFS and spots this year. And you're right, especially when he drew those spot starts. I just feel like Duren, whenever I used him, and I'm not a pro like you, I don't have an edge in those daily fantasy sports streets. But whenever I did use Jalen Duren, man, I had buyer's remorse a lot of the time. Fantasy tips, Matt.
I mean, maybe you did, but you're off there. Like, he had a really good year in DFS.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, like, not saying that he let down for sure, like almost everyone does, but he was consistently, when I think about Duren this year from a DFS perspective, and again, this is completely off my head, I want to say he was probably averaged around 7,800 price tag, and he got there a bunch. I mean, he had some monster games, probably a better first half. That's why he was an all-star, but yeah, he had a really good year.
Okay, I take it all back.
And so, yeah.
Well, I'll take that. Maybe I used him in the bad spots, or maybe I ran bad with him, whatever. All right, you didn't make any buys this week. What did I buy this weekend? What did I buy today? I'll just run through it real quick. I know this is not a Top Shot show, but it won't take me long. Fantasy tips, Matt. You look like you're so happy to hear about my Top Shot buys.
No, I really do want to hear.
Here we go, real quick. Nikola Vucevic, Series 1 debut. He's been nothing but a scrub recently. God, that guy was getting coach's decision, did not plays in the biggest games of this year. Why am I buying Vooch? That doesn't make any sense. Well, because it's first edition. There's only 1,400 of them. The floor mat is $25, something like that. I paid $8. It's what we call a stink bid. Have you heard of that phrase before? A stink bid? I'm just bidding a stinky amount, right? Almost like a nuisance bid. Most people would say, what are you doing? Why are you bidding $8 if the floor is 24? Well, it got accepted in about 45 minutes. So that's why. So I bought a Vooch. I bought a Thaddeus Young for $1. The old Thad Young. Do you remember Thad Young? I'm sure you do.
Thad Young, yeah.
Some of these cards are just cool because they're like from the Disney bubble. Kevin Porter Jr., dude, talk about a fantasy monster this year. Monster, KPJ. His rookie on top.
He's really good, but go ahead.
I was just gonna say his rookie on Top Shot is the sickest. The sickest. It's him as a Cav in like those throwback black jerseys, and he does the sickest dunk ever. You gotta watch it sometime.
That's cool. Just real quick, because I had to pull it up. What do you think Duren averaged this year, like off the top of your head, if you haven't looked it up?
I haven't. I'm not going to cheat. If I had to guess, I'd say he averaged 17 and 12.
Pretty close. 19 and a half and 10 and a half. So
I wasn't so
pretty
far
good
off.
year. Like,
yeah.
Now, he probably beat up on bad teams that weren't good inside, but still a good year. You know what I mean?
Like, how much does your mind change about these guys that have good years? Because people come across, analysts come across as like haters. I don't like to use that term, but they'll put down these NBA players. But I think some of their claims have merit. What am I talking about? Okay, you talk about a guy like Jalen Duren who had a really good regular season. If he just has a terrible playoffs going into next season, you say, oh, no, he's a good player. Don't be so negative. Don't be so toxic. Don't put everybody down. The glass isn't always, half empty. Or do you say, geez, yeah, I mean, in the playoffs when there's no space, it's like playing 4-on-5 with this guy. He's getting us 6 points in a game where we need him more than anything. So I guess what am I actually asking? How much do the playoffs matter to you in terms of just player legacy? player reputation?
It's a great question. I mean, I think there's a couple different levels to that question. First off, like in a vacuum, playoffs matter a ton as far as playoff legacy goes. Now, one playoff like series or one playoffs run, first playoff run that he doesn't play well, I'm not going to completely write off what he's done prior to that. That said, like, it's not normal to see a guy go from averaging 20 and 10 essentially to like his playoff numbers are way down. Like, it's not just tonight. So way down.
For the listeners, just real quick, Duren, he had 11 last game, 8 the game before points, 11 the game before, 15, and then 8. So every single game I'm looking at came in under his season average.
He looks like a different player in the playoffs. And again, it's maybe to what you were talking about. There's no space, better opponents, etc. Yeah, definitely a concern. I think it's more the type thing that, like, you give him a mulligan unless he does it again next year. And, like, that's his next step in maturation. He's still really young. He came out after his freshman year at Memphis. A couple of years ago, he was, like, the 13th pick, I think. I'm a fan of Duren. Like, I was coming out. When I say, like, you know what you're going to get with him, that doesn't mean every night. It more just means, like, I don't think he's got a crazy high ceiling, but I think his floor is really high. Like, he's got a man's body. Like, he's going to be a good big man in the NBA for a long time. You know what I mean?
He can bang in the paint. I definitely know what you mean, which is just kind of why we've always loved Jokic so much, because Jokic can bang in the paint too, at least on offense, he'll bang with you. And he can do it inside and outside. So, yeah, and just real quick, not to keep changing subjects, but whatever, we're just having fun here. Back to the spacing thing. So, man, Edwards, you really have to give him credit for the points he scored last game. Are you watching these games? Dude, they are guarding him like a foot past half court. They're actually touching him. Like, Castle will be touching him.
Great defenders. Great defenders, too.
He still got 36 points, and they're making him work so hard to get any space. Dude, it is so difficult to create space off the bounce against the guy, you know, a defender, whoever, who's everybody in the NBA, these 6'8", 6'9" wings, right? Like, how do you beat these guys? The wiggle that's necessary, the burst, like, it's just so tough to beat them with that first step off the bounce, and Edwards can do it, and not many can do it like him, because, God, do they have him pressed up at all times. It's like their coach, what is it, Mitch Johnson? I think I said his name wrong. Anyway, he told them, like, no, I really want you touching him. Like, you better have your hand on him the second he crosses the timeline. You better actually be physically touching him. Like, man, are they D'ing him up to be able to score. 30. Yeah, he had 36 last game on 13 of 22 shooting, 6 rebounds, not too many assists. He never has that many assists. So you asked me off the top what I thought Duren's numbers were this year. I'm going to ask you off the top, what do you think Anthony Edwards averaged for assists this season?
What do I think Ant averaged for assists this season? I'm going to say 4.
Yeah, you know your stuff, but it was under, just like it was under what I would have guessed, 3.7. Now, Edwards might say, look,
I was right there, but yeah, a little bit under.
He might say these guys don't make shots. So if you're trying to imply SGA is better than me, well, I don't have Isaiah Joe and Wiggins and AJ Mitchell knocking down every single three-pointer that I pass it to him. I've got Rudy Gobert missing from 4 feet away. So don't hold that against me. Thank you very much. Right? That'd probably be his side of the story. I guess I'm just connecting the dots in my head again about the comparison.
I think there's a distinction in the sense that, like, you know, SGA, when he's on the floor, he's got the ball in his hands the entire time. And Ant, I mean, listen, he's got the ball in his hands a lot, but starting the game, he's not even the point guard. So there's a distinction just in that. I mean, listen, both are great. I think SGA you know, is a beneficiary of the personnel he plays with and the system he's in, but he takes full advantage of it. And like they're, you know, we've just talked about them as one of, if not the best team ever right now. And he's their best player, you know, reigning MVP in the running to win it again. So I take nothing away from him. This is more just about giving Ant his flowers. I love Ant.
Can you give us a win?
Easiest guy to root for in sports, in my opinion. I feel like he's the type of guy, everything he touches turns to gold. You know what I mean?
I do, but I want you to give us a winner for tomorrow. Again, sorry to keep interrupting you, but I want to know who is Fantasy Tips Matt taking? We've got a series now, buddy. Game 5 tomorrow. The spread's 10.5 in San Antonio. Who are you taking? I want the Fantasy Tips Matt 5-star play of the day, dog. You're muted.
Be good now. I don't know why that happened. Good?
Good.
So I missed you. What'd you say?
We have game 5 in the Spurs-Minnesota series tomorrow. It's at San Antonio. Series is tied 2-2. Minnesota is a 10.5-point underdog. I want the Fantasy Tips Matt 5-star play. Who are we taking in the game?
The game's in San Antonio.
Yeah. They're double-digit favorites, yep. And they're big favorites to win the series still. To win the series, they're still 4-1, Matt. That's a big favorite. That's 80% equity. Do you think they have
surprising considering they're a double-digit favorite in Game 5? You know what I mean?
Okay, well, I guess we'll start with the first question. Game 5. Who do you like?
What do I like in the game or like from DFS? I'm confused about the question.
No, who do you like for the spread, dude? Don't be confused. It's 10.5. You got to give us a winner.
I like Minnesota. I think they're still undervalued. I mean, there's a reason San Antonio's favored there. You're going to have a rejuvenated Wemby, you know, rested Wemby. He'll probably play a little bit more here. But, man, I just think Minnesota's got the horses. I like this squad, and they've got an elite leader in Ant. So I'm going to say they keep it within the spread. Although you know how the NBA goes. Like, these series, even if they're close 7-game series, doesn't mean every game is close, you know? So I'm not like running to the counter to bet it. I just wouldn't bet against Minnesota here.
You're not running to the window?
Yeah, running to a window. Thank you.
You got it, buddy. Damn it, I just forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, so they're 4-1 underdog to win the series, and so I guess based on what you just said, you would think Minnesota has more than 20% equity in the series.
I personally think so. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. It's just tough with Wemby. You can't get any shots off. The guy blocks 12 shots a game. Is he going to change the way like teams like construct rosters? Is it going to be en vogue to have like 2 7-footers again?
Why do you think that?
Well, because this guy is guarding the perimeter and the fucking paint at the same time. And when guys do that, the other team can't score. And other teams are thinking, okay, size matters. We need guys like Wemby.
He's the only one that can do that, though. Like, there are no Wembys, you know?
Mobley is like Wemby Jr. from that standpoint. He can guard the perimeter. He's not guarding the paint at the exact same time as the perimeter, which only Wemby can do. But
Mobley gets too much shit, but he ain't shit compared to Wemby. I mean, no. He's not.
So you think the answer is basically no. Teams are not exactly rushing to get
guys are too athletic. You can't have the lumbering 7-footers. Like, listen, yeah, maybe there's a new breed of like hybrid 6'11", 7-foot guys, like the Jaden McDaniel types that start to become really in vogue. But like true 7-footers, they get played off the court too easily. Like look at the Spurs backup. Like, who's it? Luke Cornett. Like, you're not going to see guys like that all of a sudden start to get more run because they're not athletic enough for today's NBA. And that's part of the reason why Wemby is so alienish, is because he's even more athletic and he's that tall and freakish. So, yeah, like he's just the aberration. if teams could find that, I'm sure they would love to do that. But teams have been looking for that forever. I mean, I just don't see it personally. Maybe I'm off.
Dude, speaking of Spurs backups, what is Keldon Johnson's deal, dude? What did he do last game? Just a bunch of dust? He was a 2020 Olympian. This guy, I remember against our Cavs 4 years ago, he had like 20 rebounds and like 16 points one game. Maybe it was 16 rebounds. Something incredible. What's up?
He won Sixth Man of the Year this year.
He did, but why? Again, that's regular season. When they needed him, yet, what did he have after Wemby got kicked out? 4 points for the game?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of he's hit or miss. But have you seen speaking of the Spurs, these have died down now because the Cavs are within a game of time in the series and obviously up big now in game 4. But the Donovan to Spurs rumors for Dylan Harper, Vassell, and a couple picks. Thoughts on a deal like that? Like if the Cavs happen to lose this series and the Spurs somehow lose this series or lose next round?
Damn, that's a look right there. That's a really interesting one. You said Donovan Mitchell for Devin Vassell and Ron Harper's kid, right?
And a couple picks. And I love Harper.
He had a good game last game when they needed him, when Wemby did get kicked out. The opposite of
monster game.
Yeah, big game. Very efficient.
He's like good in my opinion. Yeah. Good enough where like if they had known they were getting him in the draft, they never would have traded for Fox. Type of good.
Him and Cassell complement each other. Not Cassell, not Sam I am Cassell, but Castle. Him and Castle complement each other pretty well in that backcourt.
I think Harper, Castle, and Wemby is. I mean, that trio is going to win titles in my opinion. Like they're even better than the Thunder, which is crazy to say, but that's how I see it. I'm real high on Harper though, like really high. You ask me what I'm going to get at Coach K's or what I'm going to buy, man. I'm going to see what Harper we have and just buy it all because I'm really high on him.
There you go. I want to see what his Top Shot debut is right now. I'm gonna look it up. While I'm looking it up, his dad used to live in Pepper Pike, Ohio. Yeah, around some of our old friends' houses. Let's see.
One of my sister's friends who, yeah, still live on that street.
Oh, I forgot he's got 2 kids in the league now.
That's funny. I'm thinking about this man taking it way back.
Anyway, to answer, wow, his rookie's $94. Shout out to NBA Top Shot. That's quite strong. There's the pop count is 1,000, Matt, and it's a comment. That's not bad. $94.
No, I mean I'm not. He was a top 3. I mean he's a stud, man. Like I'm really high on him. I might look. I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole and see what kind of stuff he's got right now out there that I can maybe purchase.
Where did you get the notion of that trade from? Is that from like your own brain's trade machine, or did you hear that somewhere? That's a good one.
I heard it I saw it on Twitter.
I mean, what would you do if you're the Cavs and let's just say the Cavs win this series and they lose to the Knicks? Would you say, okay, book it? Would you do that?
Yeah, if they lose this series and you can get a Dylan Harper type for down, you have to do it. I mean,
I feel like they can't do that though. Him and Devin Vassell.
They're not.
Maybe they would.
They're not doing that. No, they're never doing that. They're not doing that. Harper's like that. Harper is not someone like. He's like that good. Like he's not. They're not dealing him. Like that is a good situation though, where like it makes sense from their standpoint though, because like Harper's good enough in my opinion to be like the best player on a champ. Like I don't know, best player on a champ. I don't know that.
Calm down.
Exactly. I'm not saying that, but like I think he's good enough to be like. I think his upside is like Donovan Mitchell like, but they don't. But like the Spurs have their best player. That said, like if they lose a close series to the Thunder, like their windows right now, Mitchell is the better player right now than Harper. Like I doubt the Spurs would deal Harper. Mitchell's the type of player I could see them moving off of someone like that for. If I'm the Cavs and you lose this series and you have a chance to make a move like that, you have to.
How big of a favorite is OKC going to be if San Antonio beats Minnesota and advances? and they play the Spurs in the Western Conference Finals. What's that series spread going to be?
Wait, if what happens?
If the Spurs beat the T-Wolves and advance to the Western Conference Finals,
okay,
and they play the Oklahoma City Thunder in what will be an amazing Western Conference Finals. I was just saying 10 minutes ago how excited I am for these Western Conference Finals. What's the series odds going to be? How big of a favorite is the Thunder going to be? Are they going to be a 2-1 favorite where you bet $200 and they win and you win $100? Is it going to be closer to a coin flip, or is it going to be closer to minus 300 because OKC is that good? If I had to guess, I'd say OKC minus 150, meaning you have to bet $150 or $1.50 to win $1. What do you think?
I think you're probably more in line with the 150. I can't see it being that much bigger than that. San Antonio played them really, really well in the regular season, and they have the Wemby factor. They're probably very public because of that. So, yeah, probably minus 150, maybe minus okay, it's hard because OKC never loses. So, like, anywhere from like anywhere, in my opinion, I know there's a wide range from like minus 140 to minus 170. And I say that just because it depends on how these teams look throughout the rest of this round. Like, if OKC rolls tonight and just sweeps and San Antonio plays a 7-game series, OKC will be like minus 170, 175. But like, if the Lakers get tonight and the Spurs win in 6, like, then I think it's more like 150. So we'll see.
Who would you bet?
Thunder. I don't think the Spurs are ready, but I think that the Spurs actually match up well enough with the Thunder. Like, the Spurs are talented, and in any series, in any game they play, they have the best player, in my opinion. So, yeah, I mean, maybe Wemby takes a LeBron type leap in the playoffs or in that series. I don't know. But it should be epic nonetheless, either way. Looks like we lost Matt, so I don't know what happened. There we go.
I don't know what happened either, but can you hear me?
Yeah, now I got you.
Anyway, so I was just saying you would take in that series. Oh, here we go. Here's a comment. Hi, Matt and Matt. Any thoughts on WNBA? I have been watching the WNBA since I've been a teenager. I don't know if I'm the best to ask now, but yeah, I still watch. I actually just watched the opening night. I watched, I think it was the Fever versus the Wings. So I really like Paige Buckets. She's just got a great game. And I'm not putting down the stars of the past when I say this about the players now, but man, Matt, they are good. These girls can like hoop. Not all. A lot of the time you're going to tune in, you're going to see, maybe Angel Reese miss the rim from 2 feet away. She's a great rebounder for what it's worth. Don't mean to put her down. But just stuff from the eye test you're going to watch sometimes, and it's not going to look so elegant or professional. But again, and then you have the other side of that coin, the Paige Buckers, the Caitlin Clarks. We've got some really good players in that league now. I just bought a Sonia Citron. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. I'm embarrassed that is how you pronounce it. I just bought her debut on Top Shot a couple days ago for $20. She's good. Where'd she go? Notre Dame, Matt? I don't know. I don't know why you would ever know that. Nobody would know that. But I think she went to Notre Dame. I have a lot of Diana Taurasi. You're just going to have to chill while I rant about WNBA, Matt. We lose all of our listeners. But hey, Moe, I'm answering your question, so hopefully you'll turn out to be a loyal one. Yeah, I've got a stack of Diana Taurasi Top Shots, and I guess I'll leave it there about the WNBA. Last year, I thought Brittany Griner was going to be an MVP candidate at like 50-1 odds, and I couldn't have been more wrong. She was terrible all season long. I'll end my rant there. Matt, do you have any thoughts on the W, my man?
I'm such a sports head that I know a little bit about everything, or at least the stuff that I'm not a huge fan of. And the W is definitely one thing that I know some about, not a ton. Of course, I know like the main characters, Paige Beckers, all the main guys. I mean, I know the players. Just I dabble in DFS occasionally. I don't watch it a ton, just because I only got so much mental capacity and TVs to watch sports with, and I watch a ton of baseball. So, unlike most people, I watch a lot of baseball. So, like, that takes up a lot of not even time, because it's not even just like I'm sitting there just watching it. But when I have a screen on, a lot of times it's baseball, and WNBA is usually baseball season. So, I know some of it. I'm not like a huge fan, but I respect it, and they're so talented. Yeah, they're uber talented. They're fun to watch, man. And you get a lot of close games, or when you get a close game, it's exciting. You have like it's almost like college hoops in the sense that like the players just really care. It's not, watered down the regular season, I should say, like the NBA is to a certain extent. So yeah, it's fun to watch, man.
I would push back, dude. I don't believe in that narrative about the NBA being watered down during the regular season. It's just the rotations. So if you want to say, yeah, okay, you're right. Overall, it's a different game. I don't want to push back too much because, of course, it's entirely different, but it's because of rotations. It's because if you don't have an edge with a certain guy, or if a certain guy is getting exploited through mismatches, he just won't play. And the coaches are giving it 110%, and the fans are giving it 110%. So it's a different atmosphere. It's a different game. But I don't think the NBA players aren't lazy, dude. They always try their best. I know you weren't saying that they're lazy, but again, that's just kind of a pet peeve of mine when people say, oh, the NBA players these days, they don't play defense. Yes, they do. But you're right. It's different in the postseason. Yeah, to name some other WNBA stars, Matt, we've got Kelsey Mitchell, who's really good, Brianna Stewart.
Okay. Okay, let me ask you this. If we played a game, like name WNBA players until one of us couldn't, who would win?
I would never bet against you in any sports Jeopardy. So you, dude.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not. I wasn't asking because I was like bragging in that. I was asking because I was genuinely curious. I'm not sure because I'm not like that. I'm not a WNBA head. Like I know some of it. And I could probably name, you know how they do this? Like, how many players can you name better than so-and-so? And they do like, you'll say 4 and I'll say 5. And then it's like, okay, prove it to me.
Sure.
If we were doing that type of game, I would say I could name just WNBA players in general, probably off the dome, 25.
No, I could name more. You mean current or ever?
Current.
I would. That'd be my over under as well. How many total NFL players ever do you think you could name?
Ever, just off the dome. Oh man, that's a good question.
You got 30 minutes, and you just get to write them all down or whatever. My kid asked me. You didn't ask it in that context, but he asked me, Dad, how many players do you know? I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe 500.
I was gonna say like 250, but maybe I'm selling myself short because I'm just not sure. It's a really good question. I don't know how far back my memory bank goes. I don't know the names of the new. Yeah. Oh God.
Cleveland's getting a team, Matt. Cleveland's getting a team too.
Yes, they are. It's a lot of buzz out here for that. Should be exciting.
Yo, did you watch the fight this past weekend? Strickland versus Chimaev? Or I don't know if
I watched the highlights. That is one thing. I said I'm a sports head. I'm not a UFC fan. I just don't. I don't find it entertaining. I don't like fighting like that. I'm a boxing fan because I like the technicality of it, and I grew up like watching Tyson and Money May and like all that stuff. I just never got into UFC, and I'm just not really a fan of it. I never like did it in real life. I can't relate to it. I just don't enjoy it. So I'm just not a fan of it. It's actually pretty big in the DFS streets. Like there are big contests for UFC. It's just not something I've ever gotten into. Are you?
No, not whatsoever. In terms of that conversation, I wouldn't be able to last 5 minutes, but I did watch the fight. it was kind of a fun fight. I grew up fighting. I grew up boxing. Wilson Honeyboy Smith, for anyone that's
I remember you.
That was my trainer, Wilson Honeyboy Smith. If you're out there, Wilson, love you, man. I won't go into a rant now, but yeah. Sorry?
There's a big fight. I think it's in July in Cleveland with a couple guys from Cleveland, actually.
I grew up going to fights, too, in Cleveland. The UAW, the United Auto Workers Hall, and the Salvation Army on 55th and Huff.
I think it's Abdullah Mason, who I know is from Cleveland, who he's 20-0. He's on that card. Yeah, so boxing, I've always been a big boxing fan, but not really so much NBA. And then, so yeah, these two boxers from Cleveland, Abdullah Mason, who's big time. Like I said, 20-0. He's the WBO lightweight world champ. And then this other guy, Tiger Johnson, who's from Cleveland. Both guys, really high up. Obviously, Abdullah Mason's huge. So yeah, good stuff.
Good to know. I used to absolutely love the Sweet Science. I have not kept up with it. The last fight I went to was actually in LA. I live in LA for everyone listening. Fantasy Tips Matt is in Cleveland, Ohio. But yeah, Matt,
I've never been to a pro boxing fight.
So what this person just said is so true. It's really rough if you're watching from some bad seats. You're better off just staying at home. I guess that's kind of the case for all sporting events, but much more so for boxing. Last fight I went to was I went to my favorite boxer's fight of all time, James Lights Out Tony versus Samuel Peter at the Staples Center in like 2006. I actually had great seats, and I basically put my life roll, my bankroll, but it was my life roll because it was all the money I had on James Toney, and lost, and I got to see it live in person. That was not fun. Look at the Cavs. Look at Donovan Mitchell, Matt. 40 points on 13 of 24 shooting. Let's go, dude. Let's go.
I think he had 35 in the second half.
Dude, he's the man. Hell, let's do it. And the Cavs have not had too much help from their bench, although I guess a couple guys have made shots. Keon Ellis just doesn't play. I used to put him down on Twitter, and boy, would I get dragged. They'd say, you don't know about basketball. You don't know this. You don't know that. Maybe I don't, but Keon Ellis ain't playing.
You should have heard the talk about him when he first got traded here about how he's going to be such a pivotal. I like Keon Ellis, don't get me wrong, but man, he's fallen from grace in the Cleveland streets for sure. Just DNP CDs every game now.
Yeah, dude. I just like to simplify things sometimes. Like, people will forget. They'll make a case for a guy, and you can just say, look, in their most important game of the year, he didn't play. Period. Yeah. That's it. I don't know what else is there to deduce or take away from that.
No, I think it's a great point.
When's the last time you played? You ever shoot around?
Man, it's been a minute. I used to love playing. Oh man, it's been a while. Not gonna lie, it's been a while. I mean, I had back surgery a couple months ago, so.
Jesus, dude, you okay?
Yeah, I know we've talked. I thought we had talked about this, but yeah, I'm doing a lot better now. Still going to physical therapy a couple times a week. I was in agonizing pain for a couple of months before Thanksgiving. And finally was able to. I never wanted back surgery. I mean, but no one ever wants back surgery. It's risky. There's no guarantee that it's going to fix you. But I was literally not able to function. I couldn't sleep. I was very secluded. I was in the emergency room. We went over the bill because my wife works. She's a speech therapist. She works for the city of Cleveland, actually. So, she has great health insurance. I was in the emergency room 15 times from
Jesus,
when it first started. And the first night I was in the emergency room was the night before my now 7-month-old is born. So it's been a whirlwind of 7 months, that's for sure. But I'm blessed, lucky to be where I am now, happy, healthy.
How you doing baseball DFS so far? Any big cashes lately that the chat should know?
Had a really nice weekend in the MLB DFS streets. Finished second in a big tournament. Was winning it for the entire slate until the very end, which stinks, but we'll take it. And
what was the buy and what was the cash amount?
So it was a Saturday day slate. It was a 555 buy-in. First place was 30K. I was winning 30K for 2.5 hours. Ended up falling to second for 15K, which is nice. But you feel that slip away. It's why I talk about in DFS. I know you dabble a little bit, but like when you play as high stakes and heavy as I do, like the difference between first and second or third is massive. Like you got to get the variance to go your way because 15K is great, but like not as great as 30K. That's double. You know what I mean? So for someone who plays all the time, like that matters. It matters. It just does. That said, my dad always told me hogs get fat, pigs get slaughtered. I'm not greedy, so we'll take it and we'll move on.
Well, shout out to Mr. Bellman for that one. I told you, chat, Matt Sharp, $550 buy-in for MLB. I think you said it was Saturday, Matt?
Yeah, Saturday.
What was that, on DraftKings or FanDuel? Or
DraftKings, yeah.
DraftKings, and he came in second for 15 Gs. What's your name on there? M. Bellman 67?
M. Bellman 967. Yeah, 967.
M. Bellman, if any of you are ever in the DraftKings streets and want to check out how my sharp homie Matt is doing, just type in his name, MBELMAN 967. That's a pretty strong cash. Take that to Coach K's. Buy yourself some rookies. You better get an SGA rookie. Do you have any SGA? I want an SGA rookie.
That's funny. There's some cool SGA cards up there right now. And he did an NFL draft kind of party type thing when the NFL draft was a couple weeks ago, and I went up there. He had pizzas and whatever. So I just, went up there to support it because that's my dog, and it was fun. But he had like a couple other vendors, I don't know what, like other guys that sell cards up there, and it was like a trade night. Someone had a sick SGA. It was like a rookie auto, graded like 9.5, sick card. So it was sold like that night in the shop for like 8,700 cash. Like,
wow.
Yeah, he sells right now. Like he sells for sure. I mean, Ant sells also. It goes back to what I talked about last week or the week before. The top of the top sell. You know what I mean? And then will continue to sell. I'm not a believer in SGA like that. Like I personally would not buy SGA because I don't think he's going to last there. But I get it. Like you do. So maybe he's still undervalued because you have people like me who aren't valuing him high enough yet. That's why I'm intrigued by someone like Dylan Harper, who he's expensive, but I think he's one of like the few guys that could really be in like that top of the top class. It's hard to find those guys. They don't exist. You know what I mean? They're rare.
That's also true. And it's funny, like the collectability behind some guys, like a Harden who just never quite did anything in the playoffs. He had some 40-point games
people don't like him.
People don't like him is my point. He'll be less collectible than some 6th or 7th man that some franchise that the town just really likes.
Right.
That's kind of a cool, interesting, but also like weird, quirky thing about collecting. It's like, wait a second here, like player A is an order of magnitude better of a player than player B. So why is player B more collectible than player A? But yeah, does SGA have like a standard rookie like Jordan has his his Fleer rookie? Like, is there one that's like, oh yeah, this is SGA's main rookie, or not so much?
I don't think so. I don't really think it's like that at all. Like LeBron has one like the Topps Chrome rookie, but like it's not like the Jordan because like LeBron's high, like LeBron's stuff that's worth a ton is auto stuff. You know what I mean? And like that's the same with SGA. Like it's auto stuff, and I don't want to say a lot of it, but there's so many different products now. There's not like one card. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the case for everyone. I'm sure, as also is the case with everyone, because this is how math and life works. Of course, there's one card that's going to be worth the most. I'm not really sure if that's how it. You know what I mean? It's not like the Jordan card, I guess is the best way for me to put it.
Yeah, no, I get all that. And we've got a 2-2 series, my friend. We've got some series, man. This is fun. I want these series to stay alive. So Cleveland's going to be 2-2, and we've got 2-2 in Minnesota, San Antonio. And we've got the 3-0, which is going to be 4-0 tonight. Not that that's even worth discussing too much, but do you see anything worth mentioning in this Oklahoma City, Los Angeles Lakers game 4 that's going to start here? Just started, Matt?
I like the Lakers tonight. I think they get one here. I think they got enough pride to get one. So I like the Lakers in this spot. I know that might be a contrarian take, but give me the Lakers here.
Okay. They're getting 12.5 points. So they can lose by 12 and you can still win. But are you saying you think they might money line them? I think that's what you're saying.
Straight up. They win this.
You think they win? Wow, that is a hot take. I like that. I think they're going to lose by like 32 points.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's OKC, but I think they get one tonight. I think they steal this one here at home. LeBron, OKC complacent. All the talk is that they can't lose. I think they get one here. I do.
Yo, are you pumped to watch this game 5 tomorrow? This Spurs mini game? You're about to be watching that.
Yeah, it stinks. It's the only game on because the Knicks swept, but good for them. Yeah, that game that should be primetime TV.
We should like stream or something more frequently. I'm gonna want to talk about that. Like, there's just so much to talk about after a full week, you know.
I totally agree. I'm in. Let's see if we can get on here another day this week if you want.
I was actually hooping for my just for a second today, getting some sun out here, just like a little tan. You know, white people always look better tan, buddy.
Yeah.
Always chasing the tans. Why are white people always chasing tans and darker people always want to be whiter? My Korean wife just always wants, like, all Koreans want, like, maybe I shouldn't get into this. But like, Koreans want lighter skin and all white people want darker skin. My dad, my aunt, my friends, our friends, we're all always chasing tans. And whenever a white person has a tan, it's like, oh, you look so good. So-and-so's doing so well. Have you seen so-and-so lately? Like, they look great. Like, it's just it's just adding a little bit more color. So yeah, I was actually getting some shots up today. That's one of the cool things about LA.
So
traffic sucks. It's too hot. A lot of pollution, a lot of homelessness, but we have a lot of really nice parks that are kept like very, very well. You wouldn't think that just by scrolling Twitter and seeing Skid Row and well, that's just one of the streets out here where there's tons of tents and homeless people. But you wouldn't understand how many very nice parks we have. So yeah, I was at one today just shooting around. I really like playing, but I'm just too scared to like tear an ACL at our age. It's tough, man.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, it's tough, especially for someone like me who hasn't played in a while, but it's always a fun workout. As far as your tanning and skin tone go, I am very pale. Like, I've always been pale. I don't tan. I sunburn. My parents, both of them, get uber tan. They love sitting out. I hate sitting out. I don't get tan. I burn. And as far as what you're saying with your wife, I'm familiar with this because when I lived in Colorado for years after college, the girlfriend who I had for forever went to China for modeling for a while, and she would always tell me about
subtle brag, buddy. Thinly, not so thinly veiled brag.
This is years ago, so I guess sure, humble brag from me in my 20s.
I love that you owned it.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, she would always tell me, and she was super light. She would always tell me about how like it was so like she was coveted. Her skin tone was so coveted there, and how everyone would just try to be lighter. And it's funny to think about how it's almost one of the things everyone wants that they can't have sort of deal. But yeah, man, the park you played at today looked really nice. I love Cali. I feel like I'm stuck in Cleveland most of the time because it's just, it's very nice place to raise a family, but man, it's doesn't offer nearly what, you know, somewhere like where you're living or San Diego.
No, stop right there. The grass is always greener on the other side. And you can say so many great things about LA. One of them is not that it's like a more wholesome place to raise a kid than like Shaker Heights or Gates Mills or Pepper Pike. And these are just suburbs of Cleveland. Just Northeast Ohio is a pretty good place to raise a kid, if you ask me. Anyway, I guess we could go on forever, but we'll wrap it up there, Matt. It's getting late your time. Is there anything else you want to touch on before we go? What do you think? Should we do this more often or what?
Yeah, man, let's get on here another day this week if you want. We'll see what the NBA schedule is looking like. But yeah, I'm in.
All right, man. Go Cavs. I'll be watching the game tomorrow. Thank you, chat, for everybody tuning in. I love it. I love to see it. Thanks again, Nicole Banana Mac, for that super chat earlier.
Just to you, hang out in the don't leave the StreamYard once we stop the video. Hang out there for a minute. So I want to talk to you about something right after.
Sure. All right. See you guys. See you next time.